Seirin, and it's time for another Kuroko no Basu episode review. This week, episode 10/35 came out, and it is the continuation of the Kurosaki Daichi match. This is my favorite match of all time! So let's get started! Episode 10 starts at halftime, showing that Seirin was able to take the lead over Kurosaki Daichi, and Hanamiya is incredibly pissed off at Kiyoshi's efforts and refusal to give in to the other's douchery. After Hanamiya reiterates to Kuroko that, yes, the way basketball is fun for him is seeing people who have worked really hard become broken, Kuroko's frustration turns to rage, and Hanamiya finds out why he should not piss off the Phantom Sixth Man. Okay guys, this match is really good. This match is really good. And I don't even know how I'm going to be able to do this review because I have so much to say and such an inability to say it because the feels are too much. Now, in an attempt to be more coherent, this episode may not have had any real epic or inspirational speeches, but it still had plenty of epic. First matter of epic, we have Kuroko questioning Hanamiya on why he's using such underhanded tactics to win. With some impressive acting skills, Hanamiya nearly convinces Kuroko as well as the audience that he actually has a little bit of regret for being such a dick, to the point where Kuroko's expression shows some degree of understanding and sympathy. Of course, it's all a farce and him basically making a mockery of Seirin's entire backstory and motivation before he shoves it back into Kuroko's face and reiterates how much he enjoyed what he did to Seirin's seniors the previous year, going as far to call it a masterpiece. Cue to the locker room where Bakugami is taking his frustration out on plastic benches, and after he's scolded by Kuroko, turns to ask the Shadow why he's not angrier, only to be shut up by the look of complete rage on Kuroko's face. Contrary to first impressions, Kuroko isn't some emotionless stoic being, a point that's been subtly revealed and reinforced as the series progresses, through minor changes in his facial expressions or in his tone of voice. We've seen him disheartened and we've seen him annoyed, but up until this point, we haven't really seen him this angry. And when somebody like Kuroko is angry, as Aomine points out to Hanamiya while they're peeing in the bathroom together, the target of his anger is not gonna have a good time. I don't think so, no. So you know how I've been saying that this is one of my favorite matches? If you missed that, I don't know how you could have because I've said it like 50 million times. But this moment, those few tiny seconds of animation of Kuroko's face is a major reason for that. And I'm a little bit sad because in the manga, they actually have a panel of Kagami freezing up and chickening out after he sees Kuroko's face. And then he proceeds to state, "This is the first time I've seen such a furious Kuroko." I mean, it's not that important, but to me it reinforces how impactful emotions on somebody like Kuroko are. And that just makes him so freaking interesting as a character. Like, there's lots of reasons that make him interesting as a character, but this is just one that's a major part of my intrigue in him. And he's also an incredible badass, which leads me to my next matter of discussion. Kuroko is an epic badass. He's the epitome of an unassuming shadow basketball playing badass, and if there was ever a sliver of doubt in you, which I don't know why there would be, but if there was, then this episode should have completely smacked that sliver away like Kuroko hits those basketballs so magnificently. And his vanishing drive at the beginning of the second half was awesome, combined with his overhead pass to Kagami, who dunks it by literally jumping over Kuroko, basically sums up why they're my favorite. Moving on, let's talk some dick face. And if you don't know who I'm talking about when I say dick face, then you obviously haven't watched my previous two Kuroko no Basu episodes, or you haven't even been watching this series, because it should be pretty obvious because there's only one dick face up in this B-Hizzle game. Hanamiya is such a terrible person that you can't help but hate him, but he's also such a well-crafted villain that even if you do hate him, you really have to appreciate his character. Imayoshi tells us this episode that Hanamiya is not just cunning, he's actually a genius with a ridiculously high IQ who can remember every basketball play he sees after witnessing it only once. He uses this to create what's called a spider web. He memorizes the way the opposing team interacts, how they play, and by using fellow genius player Saito, he's capable of stealing the ball with an accuracy of 100%. So if Kurosaki Daichi's method of inflicting injuries doesn't work, there's still a really good basketball team thanks to Hanamiya. And none of this, neither Hanamiya's high IQ or his spider web thingy, feels simply like a plot device thrown in at random to make the match more interesting. It feels completely within the realm of possibility based on everything we've seen so far, and I feel that that speaks volumes about how superb the writing is, both in terms of pacing and character development. Hanamiya's spiderweb, of course, rattles an already emotional Seirin, particularly Izuki, the one whose passes are being continually stolen. Despite being one of the most level-headed Seirin starters, he still gets frustrated enough to actually punch a bench. Benches are not having the best of luck today. However, in a dose of feels, this leads into another highlight of the episode, which is Seirin's unyielding trust in one another. Kuroko subs in to stop Hanamiya's spiderweb of steals by acting independently, passing the ball in a way that shocks even his teammates and making it impossible for Hanamiya to predict his moves. But because the rest of Seirin is anticipating that he may pass to them, they're able to make plays and score points, effectively putting a halt to Hanamiya's spiderweb and making him more pissed off than he was before. Which, you know, feels great. It feels good to see that dude wallowing in his anger. And one of those poignant pieces of dialogue from this episode comes during this scene from Aomine, who comments that the reason Kuroko's passes work with Seirin is not because of logic, but because they trust him. If we remember back to last season, after Seirin lost to Aomine, Kuroko explained to Kagami that when the Generation of Miracles began to rely on themselves, they lost trust in him, because he was a master of passing, and that's not necessary when you have a selfish playstyle that wins. So the knowing look that Momoe gives to Aomine after he says this is rather sad, given everything that's happened in the past between Kuroko and the Generation of Miracles, but especially between him and Aomine. They used to bump fists and be best friends, and now they don't do it anymore. Finally, continuing on the trust train, Riko, who's been sending skeptical and worried glances at Kyoshi all episode, finally decides to sub him out, declaring that she would much rather have him hate her than have what happened to him last year happen again. Of course, Kyoshi isn't too happy about this, but the rest of the team jumps in to remind him that he can trust in them. Starting with Kuroko being all adorable and calling Kyoshi his brother figure, and then Mitobi being all adorable with his silent nod and extended hand, and holy butts, this team is too much sweetness to handle. And finally, Hyuga, who still has not made a single shot, sounds like himself again as he exclaims that they'll be bringing back the ticket to the Winter Cup, in what is once again a freaking cliffhanger thing that, well, I can't imagine being an anime-only viewer right now. Like, I ain't judging, but I don't know how you are capable of handling that. How do you handle that? Because I have read the manga countless of times, and I still cried a little bit when Kuroko's little cute feet popped up on my screen. The worst. Okay guys, that is it for the review of this episode of Kuroko no Basuke. I'm sorry if it was all over the place. You know, it was just all over the place. I'm so sorry. Once again, if you guys would like to watch Kuroko no Basuke as it airs without ads in 1080p, there is a link in the description down below for you to try a free 14-day trial of Crunchyroll Premium membership. It's pretty fantastic and amazing. I want to let you guys know right now that I probably won't be able to make episode reviews over the next few weeks because I'm going to be in North Carolina next weekend for my sister-in-law's graduation, and then after that I'm going to be in Nebraska for 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and do it. I might try to do one where it's like a one-take vloggy thing, but that doesn't usually work with me because my feelings make me very not capable of speaking right. Yeah. But I will definitely be watching the episodes, and so you can catch live reaction on Twitter. How about that? Twitter. If you would like to find me on any other social media site, you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, my anime list, Crunchyroll profile, Hummingbird, Instagram. There's an Instagram now too. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye! He's just so great in his vanishing drive at the... Oh, what happened? Okay, now in an attempt to be more coherent, I don't even know how to, how to voice my words correctly with making sense. That didn't even make sense. And reiterates how much he enjoyed seeing Seirin Seniors and seeing Seirin Seniors. Nope, not working out for me. What's made out to be a